Former presidential candidate and Vice President Kamala Harris says she's not surprised to hear the Justice Department is allegedly targeting political enemies of President Trump. California Governor Gavin Newsom and his wife Jennifer are the latest White House adversaries to claim they're now under investigation by the Justice Department. The DOJ has not commented on Newsom's claim, but sources tell CBS News at least one investigation has been going on for a year and started as a whistleblower complaint. Another is related to Jennifer Seibold Newsom's taxes. Governor Newsom says he's being targeted because he's, quote, considering running for president.
In recent days, federal agents have knocked on the doors of family, friends, and former employees. Not because they found a crime, because they're simply trying to find one. They're demanding records. They're abusing the grand jury process, digging through years and years of random documents.
CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson joins us now for our segment Constitutional Question. So, Jessica, what is a grand jury?
So a grand jury is a group of citizens that decides whether or not there is, in fact, probable cause for federal prosecutors to move forward with a criminal case. So basically, a grand jury is a group of 16 to 23 individuals. They're constituted by a U.S. court, and they make a decision as to whether or not prosecutors can pass that threshold to determine, yes, there's probable cause, so there's enough here to move forward and for the prosecutors to potentially have an indictment.
Who creates a federal grand jury and what's the bar? We know for, say, a conviction, it's beyond a reasonable doubt.
Exactly. So it's a much lower threshold. It's created by the U.S. courts, but it's essentially controlled by the federal prosecutors. Federal prosecutors bring forward evidence. Federal prosecutors can examine witnesses and essentially can make their case to the grand jury. If they operate in secret, defense attorneys are not part of the process. Defendants or targets are not part of the process. And as you said, they have this much lower threshold. They're basically there as a safety valve to make sure that prosecutors don't bring frivolous cases against U.S. citizens. In fact, that a jury of our peers has made that initial decision that, yes, there's something there such that you can start the clock on a criminal complaint.
Are there any limits on what a federal grand jury can investigate?
It's a really good question. And the answer is yes. So there has to be some sort of legitimate reason that you are investigating potential criminal wrongdoing. You cannot use a grand jury as a general investigatory tool, meaning you can't say, that person looks like they must have done something. Now let's bring a grand jury together. Let's impanel them. Let's ask them to subpoena and try and find out evidence against this person. It's confined by the idea that eventually, if you go through the process, there may be enough there to bring a criminal complaint. But it cannot be used as just a general, I'm curious about this person, again, fishing expedition. That would be an inappropriate use of the process.
Jessica Levinson, thank you.